Welcome to Zero Wasted Convos. I'm your host, Aisha.
And Faatin.
Today we're going to be talking about fast fashion. So you might be wondering, what is fast fashion and why is it fast? I'm kidding. But basically, it links to a bunch of stuff and we're going to be going through it today.
Okay, so first of all, do you have any idea of fast fashion?
I have an idea, but I think you should explain it.
Okay, so this is the exact definition.
Mhm.
It is cheaply produced and priced garments that copy the latest catwalk styles and get pumped quickly through stores in order to maximize on current trends. In other words, it's mass-produced items that are made at cheap prices.
Oh,
So, have you ever seen any fast fashion trends that caught your eye for yourself?
fast fashion trends. I mean, I'm a bit into, how do I say it? Like the modern, like the
Classy?
modernized, classy type of thing. But I wouldn't say I'm too into fast fashion in general because I don't really buy clothes when they're trending because I don't care.
Okay, so some examples that you can get from fast fashion that I've seen throughout these years. There's basically this Y2K fashion in the 2000s.
Oh my
Everyone
God,
wants to
yeah.
go back in time for some reason. Hello.
It's the future. Come on.
Yeah. There's prints as well. Have you seen the most current prints I've heard about is the cheetah prints.
The infamous cheetah prints.
Everywhere I see those cheetah prints. I don't
You're
know.
going insane.
I'm going crazy. Yeah, and it's literally like everyone, like especially now because of TikTok, these trends they scale really fast. Like the moment it's posted on TikTok, everyone's like, "Oh, look at this new trend!"
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Boom, it's gone up on TikTok.
And the next week, where is it? What's a cheetah print? What?
Literally, that's also kind of like some micro trends. So micro trends, basically, they are fast fashion trends that goes by quick. Like literally in 1 week, you will not see that anymore. Like bye bye.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think that's very wasteful, right?
yeah, because like you see, it goes viral really quick. Companies make so much of it, and then boom, it's gone. Like, and then all that waste and materials, all that, toxicity that they do to the environment. It's crazy.
Yeah, and the fact that there's millions of these clothes being produced, but since no one wants to wear them, they just be sent to landfills. And actually, I have a question about that.
Yeah.
How does this actually impact the environment?
Okay, so first of all, greenhouse gases. Have you heard about greenhouse gases?
Yeah, I have an idea. We take this in science. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we do. Okay, so yeah, we do learn it in science, but for you, can you please elaborate a bit more on it?
So greenhouse gases. When people think of a greenhouse, they think of those tiny houses where people grow, plants.
Guilty. I thought of that too.
That's completely fine. But actually, greenhouse gases are these gases that are sent to the atmosphere, and they help just to summarize it, it absorbs the heat that is sent from the sun. And basically, when we're talking about increasing greenhouse gases or trying to reduce them, when we're increasing them, we're basically increasing carbon emissions, which means we're releasing more of this gas into this atmosphere. So when this happens, it absorbs more heat. So it actually causes climate change because the overall temperature of the earth is increasing. So that's what we mean by greenhouse gases and how we're trying to actually reduce them or to maintain it back to where it was.
That's a good definition, but that's also kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And you mentioned carbon emissions. So I've read somewhere about carbon emissions that it talks about how 10% of fast fashion global carbon emissions it's 10%. That's way 10%. More than transportations. Like flights is way even less than how much is taken to produce fast fashion clothes.
Yeah. And it's for these clothes that we throw away every week.
For someone like me, I love fashion. I love clothes.
You can tell by your nice style.
Yeah, but yeah, because of that, I kind of have a whole bunch of clothes at home. Yeah, and every time I clean it, I guarantee you there'll be at least 2 or 3 garbage bags of clothes that I would give away or throw.
Okay, but you're giving it away, so
literally, I think it was last month I just cleaned my closet and I had a whole garbage bag.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, ooh, I have to clean my closet again. But yeah, this kind of just shows how these trends kind of go on really quickly because I'm sure if you guys dig through that garbage bag right now, it's a bunch of trendy item clothing.
Oh yeah, here's Y2K. Oh my gosh, here's the cheetah print. Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
Yeah, so I'm kind of guilty in that kind of audience. So
It's fine. I mean, we're here to like spread awareness,
yeah.
obviously, and it's a learning journey for us too. Okay, so we've gone through the environmental issues with it, but I actually want to go through a different issue. So, what do you think the issue is?
Personally, I think I heard like labor is a big thing in fast
Yeah.
fashion, especially since it's producing in a large amount.
Yeah, actually. So, before I actually go into that, what are some of your favorite brands?
I like H&M.
Yeah, H&M.
H&M, Zara,
Yeah,
mainly
the
them.
trendy ones,
Yeah.
the cute clothes. Oh my god, yeah. Okay, I totally get that. So actually, the overall issues that, concern fast fashion is the exploitation of labor and also the unsafe working conditions and the unfair pay. So
Oh.
there's actually different factors towards this issue and it's very devastating to hear about. So before I go into it, how does it exploit labor? So the thing is, these working places, they have very bad conditions, meaning some people, they sleep where they work, or they're not even paid enough. And like when I say they're not paid enough, I don't mean like, they're still being paid minimum wage. They're paid below that.
Below.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And if you're shocked by that, you're actually going to be shocked to hear that kids are working here.
Kids
And
like our age.
yeah, kids our age and even younger. And they grow up in these factories working and trying to support for their family.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it's actually very devastating, and it's kind of a heavy topic because to go from trends to human rights issues, it's a huge jump, but it is something we need to talk about because if we don't, who else is going to?
Exactly.
Yeah, and although we do talk about like the future impact, as in like the environmental impact and how it's going to impact us in the future, what about now? Who's being impacted by it now? And actually, I have a case study to go with this. So, who do you think is involved in this case study? Just a wild guess. There's 3 companies.
It has to be Zara. It has to be Zara. They're really big, and I've seen lots of cases about them.
There's a lot about them. So actually, when I was researching, I found so many case studies. There were things in Argentina, Sao Paulo. There were things in just different places in general. But this specific case, it was happening in Turkey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, there's this textile supplier. So this is where we kind of say that it doesn't directly blame the brand, but it's also the effects of fast fashion and how they always produce clothes. So basically, just like get you to understand it a bit more, when it comes to fast fashion, since these clothes are always being produced, they try to find cheaper options, right? Yeah. So when they try to find cheaper options, like the labor or the type of labor that goes into it, it's very unknown, meaning it's overlooked because so many things are being produced at once. How can you focus on anything?
Right.
So when it comes to this whole thing, it becomes an underlying problem because no one knows that it's going on. So we can't really blame them. But basically, this textile company is called Bravo Textile. It's a Turkish supplier, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it is. And it actually is a supplier for Zara, so you got that right, Next, and Mango.
Oh.
Yeah, so shockingly, because I was kind of shocked seeing Mango because their prices are kind of
like really quite expensive.
Yeah. So,
and I've seen lots of things that like their tags always say sustainable material or something.
So
are you lying to us?
Is there something up? Okay, actually, we're not trying to accuse anyone, here, obviously. But basically, this case study, there was this whole case about how in Turkey, people who are shopping at Zara, they look through their clothes, and you know how they always have those tags, like the sizes. Or, yeah. So when they looked at these tags, and I quote, this was written, "I made this item you're going to buy, but I didn't get paid for it."
Oh, so they're like kind of calling for help.
Yeah, which is
that's
kind of shocking.
Right.
You've never seen laborers calling for help through the product that they produce.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Like that's a way of help.
Literally, and it shows how suffocating it is because you're getting help through a price tag. It kind of like resembles a lot. It shows that fast fashion is costing people their lives. So to go more into detail about this, so what actually happened is the clothing supplier, they went bankrupt. So when they went bankrupt, usually you'd expect the workers to get paid at least a tiny bit,
Yeah.
but actually it was reported that none of them got paid a
Like,
single
not a
cent.
oh my god.
No matter how many hours they worked, they did not get paid a single
So
cent.
this what is it? Bravo text?
Yeah.
This is not so Bravo. You're not so Bravo.
Yeah, this is not Bravo at all. Literally thousands of people did not get paid, and then obviously these people have lives, they have
Yeah.
families to support. So imagine working for hours on end, like let's just say 8 hours, and you're not getting paid
Single cent.
a single cent, and
That's
you missed
crazy.
out 8 hours spending time with your family, or getting to know your children as they grow up. So they're probably missing out on a lot of quality time with their family just to not get paid. Okay, so actually the other brand unfortunately is H&M as well.
It failed me, guys.
Yeah, too good to be true, actually.
Right?
Like, we all shop there and you let us down. Oh, what is going on? So actually in H&M, the Guardian actually interviewed someone that worked in their factory, and can you guess her age?
I'm gonna guess the highest 17.
17. Actually 3 years below that, 14. Yeah.
14
They
years old.
interviewed a 14-year-old at a factory, and they asked her, so how is it like working in this factory, and what's the case? Like, how are people employed? And she said that they employed anyone who wanted to work.
Okay. Hello?
How urgent do clothes need to be produced
Exactly.
for them to employ anyone?
Anyone that wants to
Literally.
work.
It's just, it doesn't make sense. It literally doesn't make sense, okay? So then it goes on. The Guardian also interviewed a bunch of garment workers. So they didn't state which brand or which supplier that they interviewed, but they said that the leggings I make retail for more than my entire month's salary.
Then okay, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Because you can't not be pricing something that high and then not paying the person who made it.
Exactly. And even if it's not high, it's like, let's just say you walk in a store and something's like 10 reals. You'd say, oh my gosh, it's so cheap. To think that some people might not even be paid that.
Right?
Yeah.
That's sad. That's actually really sad.
It's really overwhelming to think about, honestly.
Yeah.
Now that we've gone to the nitty and gritty about fast fashion, we can actually go and talk about a solution.
Okay, so what kind of like solution do you have in mind that can stop with fast fashion?
So actually the solution is very simple. Slow fashion. Who could have guessed? So to actually counteract this fast fashion business, slow fashion is the way to go. Okay. And I'll tell you the exact definition of it. So it's the opposite of fast fashion. As I said, it takes a sustainable approach to producing clothes. It carefully considers the processes, resources required to make clothing, and sustainability over speed and low cost. So this is actually a very important thing because, we talked about cheap labor and how people weren't paid. We talked about the economic impact. So it kind of just all links together. So when we talk about sustainable materials, we actually combat the whole thing with landfills and clothes taking years to break down in the environment. Now that we've mentioned slow fashion, so what are actually some methods of it?
Okay, so the main method that we can obviously start with slow fashion is starting with the materials. So some sustainable materials. Do you have any idea in mind, like what kind of materials are sustainable?
Oh my gosh, this is a question that will bamboozle me because I don't know.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you two of the most main. Like every time you see sustainable like clothing in stores, these two are always come up. So number one, organic cotton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's organic cotton. As you can see, like if you go to stores or anything, every time you see the price tag that says organic cotton, they always end up being quite expensive if you don't realize. And you can immediately tell by the material, it's like so soft. Like I have a few at home and I'm telling you guys, it's the best clothing to sleep in even.
Yeah, you fall asleep touching it. Yeah. Sleeping Beauty who.
Exactly. So like, yeah, so organic cotton is one of them. And another, can you guess what the other one is?
No. Can't go in my head, guys. Sorry.
Well, it's linen.
Linen. Oh.
Yeah. That material is linen.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, linen materials, they're also like really expensive. Like if you see, because one, obviously they're not like made in like factories. Most of the times, they're not made in factories that are like using cheap materials that will impact or like harm the environment. Instead, they're like actually like from how do I say it? Like usually, like for example, cotton, it comes from, what is it? Like a garden or something?
A garden,
A
like those
farm?
fields.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fields, a field. Oh my god, my English.
Your vocab. Oh my gosh, English teacher gonna come for you.
But yeah, they usually come from like fields, which people like, you know, they take good care of that field for a long period of time. So which kind of makes sense, like why it's expensive and stuff like that. Okay, so yeah, linking back to linen, it is made from a plant. So which obviously that's the first thing. It's like, you know, not, it's not anything bad. It's a legit plant. Like hello.
Yeah, it's a plant. You know, plants are saving us actually.
Right. And another thing about linen is that it's biodegradable.
Oh.
So it obviously it doesn't impact the environment as bad as, you know, fast fashion does.
Yeah.
Like hello.
So if I threw that pillow that's made out of linen right now, will it decompose?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
Yeah, actually, it takes years. It takes years, guys. Just for your information, when we're talking about biodegradable matter, we don't say that we put it in the wind and it just blows away.
Exactly, no.
We do not want you going out in public with those clothes.
Throwing things out.
So basically, when we say biodegradable, so the problem nowadays is that, you know, a lot of the materials, they take years. And when we say years, it's not like 5 or 4, it's 100 years, you know, to just break down a single plastic bottle. So it's not biodegradable. That's, you know, obvious. So when we talk about biodegradable materials, it means that it can actually break down in the environment, meaning that, you know, animals won't accidentally eat it, or animals won't get caught in it. So basically, it's less harmful. That's what we mean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So another point into like a method of slow fashion is about quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm the type of person who loves quantity over quality. Girl, I'm like setting myself out today.
Yeah, oh my gosh, you're being hanged out.
Right? But yeah, like for example, fast fashion, we see they always have this kind of specific material that it always feels the same. Like no matter where you buy, like if it's Zara or H&M or even like on Shein, like the material is always the same.
Yeah.
And with that, like, you know, shopping at like places that has like uses linen and stuff like that, all that is like the best quality. And from my own dad's word, he's always the type of person who's like quality is better because but because like, you know, quality, they last longer. First of all, they don't, like, talking in the sense of clothes, they don't harm like the environment or anything like that. Okay, and like linking back to quantity, people usually like are kind of those like materialistic type who always thinks like, oh my god, I have so many clothes, oh I'm so happy, blah, blah, blah. But like if you, okay, like example, you buy one clothes, like one top or whatever that's made out of linen, and then you buy like, I don't know, 10 tops that's from Shein or something, which one do you think will last longer?
That one shirt, actually.
Right? Like no matter how many times you wear it, okay, like probably over time you'll get a little bit like damaged, but like compared to that like Shein top that she bought like 10 of those, like speaking of my own personal experience, I did have some like Shein tops, and then like when I wash them, they get like a really weird material. They had this really weird material.
Do you guys really want that?
Yeah,
you want to go out in public like that? No, you don't. You want to be well presented. You know, like these uniforms. I'm kidding. This is not an advertisement.
Okay, so the last point that I want to make is about the ethical production process. So for you, what do you think ethical production means?
Well, you know, since we talked about the human rights issues and the whole labor-intensive processes of processing these, you know, materials and clothes, I actually have a very good idea about ethical production. So it's kind of just the opposite of it. It's the same thing with, you know, fast fashion and slow fashion. It just means the company or the supplier or whoever's making these clothes, they're making sure that no one is heavily affected by this or going through intensive labor that's unneeded.
This is what we need, guys. Not that harsh labor. Thank you.
Yeah, we do not need your cheap Shein clothes. Okay?
Exactly.
So now that we've gone through, you know, everything, slow fashion, environmental impact, human rights issues, the list goes on. What are the brands that actually deserve to have the spotlight? I mean, we've mentioned Zara, Next, Mango, so many brands, and they're all involved in it, and they're all praised for it. But what about the ones that are actually
caring about the environment.
They're caring, and they're trying to make an effort towards sustainability and prevent fast fashion. So there's actually four brands that we researched. All of them are sustainable. They have very good style choices. So if you want to shop there, go ahead, because we encourage it.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So excuse some of my pronunciation for some of these, because they are foreign brands for some of them. So do I look like I'm foreign? I do. But okay, so basically the first one, ELV denim, not hard to pronounce, obviously. So it's actually made from 100% upcycled materials.
Oh,
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
That's what we need, guys.
Yeah, we need that. We need 100% upcycled materials, genuine stuff and materials. And yeah. So the other brand is actually Cezanne or Cezanne. How do I say that? I don't know. Yeah, Cezanne, I guess. So basically, it produces high quality pieces to be worn for a really long time, which links to what we said, that they actually last a long time if you're focusing on the right materials, unlike those cheap materials that they produce in like 5 minutes,
Right.
So the next brand is actually Basique. I don't know how to pronounce it either. So it's actually built on the ethics of treating people and the planet correctly. So straight away, as we said, ethical production sections of like businesses, they focus on how it benefits the world, people, how it benefits us. Is it good for us? And I feel like, aside from, fast fashion and the topic of sustainability, I feel like these fast fashion companies, okay, they care about the style, but do they care about us?
Right.
Because in their eyes, we're just the numbers of customers at the end of the month or year. So they want profit instead. So they focus less on the quality, and they kind of rip us off sometimes because, when was the last time you bought something and it was kind of expensive, but it did not last a long time?
Probably like a few months ago. I'm gonna be honest. A few months ago, probably.
It's that common. And I get that, because I think the other day, I don't remember which brand, but I actually bought a shirt, and straight away it kind of had like loose threads. But I don't get that. I just bought this. I was not running around with it or something. It was just sitting in my closet. So I don't know why people prioritize these brands, even because they don't even last long. So why would you even buy from them? So last but not least is called Callow, with two A's actually. Callow. They're actually partners with sustainable factories, and they actually use recycled fabrics. So not only do they focus on, sustainable materials, they're using it for factories.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So moral of the story, guys, buy from these 4 amazing brands because we should not be like spending our money, like our hard-earned money on brands that don't even last a long time. So
and
like
they don't care about us.
Exactly. Like for example, Cezanne, they're high quality products, okay? But yes, it could be expensive, but then think about the long term. Like think about the long term, okay? Because if you buy something really expensive, okay, not saying all expensive items are like this, but if you buy like an expensive clothing, for sure they're gonna last you a long time. Because why would they spend that much time into making such an expensive outfit and then they would just like,
just fall apart.
Exactly.
No one wants that. So that actually concludes our episode, and we hope you learned something new about fast fashion and hopefully stop contributing to it.
Yeah, and also if you guys forget all about this and then you're buying or whatever in fast fashion and Shein or Zara or whatever, just remember about those people, those underage people like us who are working so hard and they're not even getting paid for it. So just remember that you're contributing to that too.
So if you try to ignore it, we're here. We're gonna come for you. Yeah.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Stay tuned for our next one. Bye.